Well, welcome to the Malibu Pacific podcast. I am Darren here with the famous Amy.
I'm not sure what I'm famous for, but thank you. It's great to be here, Darren.
Well, better to be famous than infamous. I mean, that's really the truth.
That is true. That is true. I'll take that.
Well, coming back from an incredible weekend, another great Sunday here at Malibu Pacific.
Fantastic
So much
Sunday.
fun stuff happening. A least of which was Pastor Andy's birthday, which I know that he'll be cringing as he listens to this that we're actually mentioning it. But
He did not want us to celebrate, but we did anyway.
we
And
did
I feel
anyway.
good about that.
We forced his hand, and it's the one time that we can get away with being naughty here as the staff at Malibu Pacific. And so, and thank everybody who wrote in the big monstrous card that we had for him. I read some of the things people wrote. People were very, very generous in their praise, and it was awesome.
As they should be.
And you know how Pastor Andy is kind of, let's be honest, a bit of a crier, is given to emotion when he gets back from Cambodia because he didn't have a chance to read it all because he had to literally leave here, run to the airport. So when he gets back, he'll get to read all those incredible comments, and I'm sure he'll shed a little tear.
Shed a little tear. You know what? It feels great to be celebrated. I'm glad we got to celebrate
It
him. So,
does.
yeah.
It does. I need to address the elephant in the room also. I just realized that because the cameras are on this side and I have a little thing. It wasn't a shaving cut. I actually had something cut off my face. So it's okay. Don't write in. What happened to Darren? It's okay. I had a little thing that had to be addressed for the dermatologist. So I'm okay. Everything
We're glad that you're okay.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate your consideration. Well, what a great Sunday. And another, as we've been in this series, Born to Lead, Pastor Andy did a sterling job today just really talking about resilience.
Yes.
And really our stickability to the calling of God in our lives. And just talking about how it's so easy for us to find ourselves from time to time adding things into our life or getting sidetracked, and how easy distraction can come into our world. And before you know it, you're heading in a certain direction and something kind of comes alongside and wanting to distract us and move us out of the way. I know about you, Amy, but if there's something about our modern times, distractions come easily.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the phrase is the tyranny of the urgent, right? There's always something urgent that's pulling on us, that's trying to distract us, trying to keep us looking in a different direction. And I agree. I mean, I think even just our notifications on our phone can pull us right out of what we're doing. I'm not the best about silencing those, but some people are really good about that, and it helps them.
There's certainly something about the discipline of rest and the discipline of putting ourselves in environments and atmospheres where we can't be distracted.
Yeah.
And it is funny that, we have this in our modern world where we have these devices that are with us all the time. And there is this sense, I know even I feel weird sometimes when people, like if somebody texts me and I don't text them back immediately, or if I'm texting somebody and they don't text me back, suddenly I'm feeling like, oh, do they really care? Like, are they getting my information? Are they blowing me off? Or like, what's actually going on right now? Where they may be incredibly focused and trying to get something done that's important and essential.
Yep.
And I think that's the thing, isn't it? We've become so preconditioned to immediate reinforcement, immediate gratification, immediate responding to things, that we fail to see, hey, within the big picture of everything that I'm trying to do or what God's calling me to do in this moment, I need to stay focused.
Yes.
And I need to give that attention. You and I have been on that focus journey over these last couple of weeks as we've prepared our messages for the, when I was a pastor with my own churches, I was preparing messages every week, and you get into a rhythm of it.
Yes.
And so it just becomes kind of normal part of your everyday. And then, I hadn't preached to a congregation from my own church. I'd done a lot of itinerant stuff, but that's a little different. But being here and preaching as a part of a series, I had to kind of re-engage and realize, hey, I really need to shut a whole bunch of things down so I can actually focus on getting this done. You're in the hot seat this coming week, and I know you're probably feeling the pinch as well.
I'm feeling the pinch. I'm like, wait, guys, I got to get back on the wall.
Yeah, 100%.
There's lots to do. Yeah,
100%. And I think that's part of it too. Pastor Randy did such a great job kind of showing us that in Nehemiah, how there were things that were trying to pull him away from and distract him from the thing that only he could do.
Yes.
There's things that come into our world that seem urgent, they seem important, they seem they seem like things that would be good and of value.
Right.
But when they become distractions from the thing that either only we can do or the thing that God is calling us to do in this moment and in this season, then they ultimately are a distraction. They're ultimately a thing that is going to take us away. And I think there is a constant need for you and I to reassess almost on a daily basis. Like, what am I doing today that is the thing that is actually going to achieve the call of God, as opposed to just meet a need or fulfill some other alternate purpose that may have a level of validity, but is actually distracting us or slowing us down from actually being able to do the thing that is essential.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had some friends in town, and after church we went to we were heading to the beach, but we stopped at Lily's. Great place to eat. A highlight for Lily's. And we all sat around and we're asking the question, like, what is the wall right now? Like, what is that thing that's right in front of us?
That's great.
That kind of only we can do, or that God is uniquely inviting us to do. And it's a hard question, because I think we can all start to be like, well, it's this and this and this and this and this and this, right? And so really trying to narrow down. I mean, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm also in, I'm preaching next Sunday. So that's a big wall, right? So there's things, all of these are my walls, and yet it's almost like there's still times where one wall gets put in front of the other, and vice versa and stuff. So
and that's the challenge, isn't it? The challenge is being able to, I think, identify what are the things that God is calling me to do right now in this moment, in this season, and then being willing to say no. I think that's the hardest part, I think, of the Christian life, is not what do we say yes to. Right. I think yeses are easy. No's, I find them difficult.
Yes.
I want to be who other people want me to be for them. Part of being a pastor is you have a heart for people.
Right.
You want to help people. You want to bless people. You want to be there for them.
Yes.
And so part of the nature of almost the job that we've chosen is that we are very much responders to the needs of others.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is a calling that God has for you and for me. And there are things that we are uniquely called and positioned to do, and we have to make sure that those things are getting done.
Yes.
That we are focused enough on those things. And whilst it's easy to be distracted and to be kind of pulled in this direction or another direction, being able to be, I think, much more measured and considerate of, okay, but what's God saying?
Right.
Like, what is he calling me to do in this moment?
Right.
And I think, in our context, that's something that we are wrestling with. And I imagine that for everybody that's listening today, they're struggling with that too. They're going, I know that there's these things that I need to give attention to, I need to focus on, but there's all these other things that keep coming and pulling me in this direction or pulling me in that direction.
Yes.
And I guess that's the challenge, isn't it? That is learning how to let the Bible says, let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. And I think so often we are good at the yes and poor at the no.
Yes.
And I think we've got to be a little bit better, because the no really is a defining thing.
Right.
The no, this is another kind of message, but your no is what gives your yes power.
Right. Yeah.
Like the thing when I said yes to Bree when we got married, where I said yes, what gives that yes power is the fact that I was saying no to every other woman in the world.
Yes.
So the power of my yes was it was actually in the no.
Right.
And it's the same thing, I think, when it comes to what God's calling us to. The thing that gives that yes power and authority in our world to guide us, to lead us, and to shape us is the no that's attached to it.
Right.
By saying yes to this, I'm saying no to that.
Right.
And maybe as we just wrap up today, maybe that's the consideration that we need to think about this week. What am I saying no to that gives my yeses power?
Yeah, and I think that a practical way you can step into that is to list out your priorities again. Like, what are your priorities? What are your walls? And that helps you to say, okay, these other asks are good things. They're good things you're going to be saying no to, but they aren't the best thing. So,
Awesome.
I think that's a great practical way to say, okay, what am I going to say yes to? What am I going to say
That's
no
awesome.
to? Yeah.
Well, really looking forward to hearing you this weekend. Make sure you tune in online or in person here, 9:30 and 11 o'clock, or online through the streaming services of your choice. We are on all the platforms.
All the platforms.
All the things. All the Twitters, as they say. But looking forward to hearing you as you delve into the aspect of leadership and relationships this week. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Amy, for joining us today.
Yep.
And we'll be back to regular programming. Joel will be back next weekend taking care of us here on the podcast. But have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you at church on Sunday.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.